It's time for our end of the month budget review in EveryDollar, where I show you every single cent we spent last month and the atrocity of how much money we spent on food in July. So much money. Even with that and general summer debauchery, oddly enough, we still have a surplus. Seriously, how that happened, I will never know. Okay, I do know, and I'm gonna show you exactly how in painstaking detail. You're gonna love it. Hi, I'm Wendy Valencia. If you guys were nervous with all my recent branding changes and that I was gonna start doing something really different and you would not see me go over our budgets anymore, well, you couldn't be more wrong. That couldn't be further from the truth. First, a whole component to my new branding is organize your money, because the entire reason we have been able to pay off over $200,000 worth of debt is because we got our backsides in gear and organized our money. That's it, plain and simple. And second, we're firm believers here that more people need to talk about money with real numbers, because the more that we all talk about it, the more we learn, right? And the more we learn, the less likely we are to be unprepared for big events like vacations or emergencies like a car breaking down, which, by the way, both of those things we're dealing with this month. And it's only like the 5th of August, right? So let's go. So our income this month was $16,062, but we had a few special circumstances in our income category, and not all of that income were actual, like I worked a job kind of income. First, we had a ton of returned clothes. I had returned so many bathing suits that I had gotten from Mauricio last month, and because we had a surplus last month, instead of integrating those returns into the budget, I actually rolled them over into this budget. And then you're gonna see this month a very, very large clothing return for me, because when I buy stuff online, I buy it in multiple sizes unless I know the brand really well and know what fits, and I've lost a lot of weight and wasn't really sure what size I was. It's a whole thing. But I'll get into that in the clothing category. Some of the other things in our income category were a credit for a summer camp Melina was going to that got canceled, and a transfer from sinking funds to pay for school supplies and summer camp. And then, of course, money I earned from YouTube and mine and Mauricio's salaries. All those things totaled up, added to $16,062. In our utilities category, we spent $460.62, and that was for the storage unit.
Wait, have I mentioned I have a storage unit? If you don't know why I have a storage unit, I have a whole video on it, and I will link it down in the description box.
I am totally automating that part of the video for future use in other videos. I'm kidding. We paid $170.62 for our cell phones and nothing for Skype. But it appears that I forgot to take the $20 out of the budget. But hey, y'all, this is real life and mistakes happen all the time. Fortunately, this one happens to be in my favor, so it will not cause any major budgeting issues. I just now have another $20 to throw at next month's financial goal. In the food category, we went temporarily insane and we spent a whopping $1,348.12. Holy free holies, Batman. That is a lot of money for food. But on the upside, it was a super fun month, and for sure, we enjoyed every second of that food. So let's break it down. First, we spent $542.66, and the bulk of that was actually a barbecue that we had for some of our neighborhood friends. Having people over for dinner is costly for sure. We tried to keep the cost low, but let's just say we failed somewhat miserably. We did feed a nice meal to about 7 different families. And then on top of that, there was the eating out category, which was a whopping $805.46. Yeah. So this is what happened. So when your father-in-law does the bulk of the meal prep and then he goes out of town and it's swim season, bad things happen. So with our swim team, it seems like that in the 8 weeks of swim season, we're doing something on about 4 nights a week. On those nights, we have swim stuff. I'm generally running to grab Melina from camp, going home, changing clothes, shoving some sort of snack at Melina, and racing down to the pool, and then getting home between 8 and 9 p.m., which is far too late to start anything for dinner. Now, had I had some foresight, I would have cooked something like crock pottish or doubled up on some recipes on the off nights so we could eat leftovers. But I'm going to be honest here and say that I had gotten into the habit of my dad cooking dinner and really didn't think about it. And then my parents left for what turned out to be a very long cruise. So there was a lot of ordering dinner at the pool. And we actually also did go out to dinner for our anniversary and then to the movies, which was fun. And why I put the movie tickets in the food category is beyond me. But mostly this was convenience food, except for a couple of trips to Starbucks. And it was 2 p.m. and I'm starting to do this like head bob at work thing and I need to get some coffee. But when that started to become a habit, I decided, no, we are not going to get in the Starbucks habit. So I took some K-cups to work and some almond milk. And I started making my afternoon coffee in the office there, which was so much cheaper. And then Mauricio saw me doing that and did the same thing too. And so that Starbucks thing stopped as quickly as it started. So we also stopped Home Chef for a while to cut back on the expenses. And then we spent more money. Even in spite of the way we ended up this month, it turned out okay, so let's keep on going. In the automotive expenses, we spent $211.29. That was $141.29 on gas and $70 on the Easy Pass, which is our local toll road system. In the insurance category, we spent $366.81. That was $219 on car and renter's insurance, $100 on my life insurance, $35.81 on Mauricio's life insurance, and $12 on CMFG life insurance. There's really nothing exciting to say about those because their insurance and getting insurance is not terribly exciting. But insurance is one of those things you always want to have, but you never want to use. So in the child care category, we had a big month. It was $1,147, which takes me back to the days of preschool, which was almost the exact same amount we paid for preschool for Melina each month. And this was for 3 summer camps. So this month, Melina went to 3 weeks of SAC camp, which you cannot pay for in advance, but it is by far the cheapest of any of the camps she went to this summer, just at about $250 a week. Most of the camps in this area are about $400 to $500 per week, but really they can be anywhere from $400 to $1,200 depending on where it is. The SAC camp is run by the county and she loves it. So while it wasn't her favorite, it was fine. But because it's so cheap and has the widest schedule, it's open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., it fills up super quickly. So Melina did that for 3 weeks this month, and then one of her camps in August got canceled, so they returned the money for that camp. And they actually tried to keep a $45 processing fee, and I promptly called and explained how if they cancel the camp, it is kind of wrong for them to keep the processing fee. So they gave me back all of that $45 too. But then I had to register Melina for a different camp. So I found one of her friends was going to this other camp and it had some space and it was $395 for the week, which is still about $200 cheaper than the other camp. So it worked out well for us in the end. Plus, this new camp is right on my work route, so it all works out very, very well for us because that other camp was like way out of the way. Can't say I'm really sorry that that other camp got canceled. In the medical category, we spent $276.58. That was $52.66 for Melina and $223.92 for me, which was all the speech therapy that I'm doing. And as everyone knows, I have this neurological thing which makes my speaking weird. So I've been going to a speech therapist, and honestly, I think it's really been helping me deal with the issues with my voice. Like, I have a way to correct the issue when I'm having it. I just need to remember to do it. So I do still have the problem, but I feel like I have a little bit more control of it at least. And so it's totally worth the money. So in the clothing category, I spent a shocking $885.06, all on me. Not even gonna lie, but it's not as bad as it seems. So as y'all know, I've lost about 30 pounds and I have plenty of regular clothes that fit, but not suits. And I'm in the process of getting a different position in my agency that requires suits every day, which is fine, but most of my suits are really too big right now. And I was planning on taking them down to Columbia with me and getting them taken in. But I needed suits for a couple of pretty important meetings up here, and I needed them right away. So I got several suits at J. Crew on 60% off. But since I had no clue what size I wore, I got several in each size. Then we ended up going to the store and doing some returns and exchanges and walked away with 2 great suits, one in ivory and one in gray, and both year-round fabrics. And those should last me till I get back from Columbia with all the suits that I had custom made for me years and years ago, which I love. And they're all kind of funky styles. So they're gonna be suits that don't go out of style because they're styles I designed. In the Melina category, we had $620.53. And that was $140 for Spanish classes, $100 for swimming stuff, $350.54 for back to school stuff, $11.99 for Spanish book, and $18 for swim team pictures. So in the back to school stuff, that $350 includes her school supplies for the year, ordered from the PTO fundraiser where they have the supplies mailed to you, which I love. Her new backpack, which is really just like this giant, soft, puffy backpack that I want to lay my head down. It's like a giant stuffed animal. And her first day of school outfit. She wanted a romper, so I got her 2 rompers to choose from, and she's gonna choose the one she wants to wear. They were both super cute, but first I have to confirm that she can get them on and off without help, because in true Janie and Jack annoying design, they have buttons in the back. I love their clothes, but they're not designed with kids' bladders in mind. So I generally buy them one size up, and she can slide in and out of them pretty easily. So all the school supplies from the first day of school came from the first day of school sinking fund, which I love having. It's like a game changer for me. In Mauricio's school expenses, we spent $26.52, and that was all printing for architecture projects. Each page had to be printed a particular size, and that had to be done at Staples because obviously they were too large to print on our own printer at home. In the work expenses category, we had $11 for parking. In the miscellaneous category, we spent a grand total of $405.59. Now, several of these should actually be in the straight up luxuries category, but for whatever reason, they ended up here. So that was $16.94 for cigars for Mauricio, straight up luxuries. $18.01 for chalk markers for writing on the windows of the car before swim meets, and $29 for another archive kit. And I know you're like, what's archive? Basically, you order a box from them and you fill it with your kids' art and schoolwork, and they take, high quality pictures of it and make it into books. And I was actually planning on doing it anyway. I just never had time to scan all the stuff in. It just was taking forever. And I actually reached out to the company. I got a whole discount code. I made a whole video filming, putting the box together and everything. And I was gonna share it with you guys in a whole video. And I had, at the point I did it, I had 3 years of school stuff that I hadn't dealt with, and it was, neatly organized in boxes. And I separated everything out and put it separately and labeled, and it was all super organized, because that's what I do. And I mailed it on in, and then I didn't hear back from them for a long time. Seriously, months. And when I finally got an email from them, they had actually done everything wrong. I don't know how you could, because I literally had separated everything out into individual packages. So I told them what I wanted fixed, and then I waited several more months. And finally, in July, last month, this month that we're talking about, 8 months after I mailed the box, I got my 3 books back. And they look so adorable, and they're exactly what I wanted. And the best part is, they just take up space on a bookshelf, not that huge pile of schoolwork, which at that point was like 4 organizer boxes. It was insane. I was really pleased with the final product, but because it was so incredibly slow, I couldn't endorse it. So I decided to try it again and see if it takes as long this time. And if it only takes a month or 2 this time, I may go ahead and endorse it. I may not. It's on the spendier side, but for me, it's totally worth it. I love the outcome. I was so happy with it. But either way, it gets piles of kids' art out of my house, and I have the pictures in a lovely book. And that $29 is just for that initial mailer box. Each book does cost another significant amount of money. I think it averaged out to about $100 a book. But they are really nicely bound, and they really do look lovely. Then we spent $231.98 on a passport for Melina. I knew my passport was still good, and I knew Mauricio's was still good because I keep those in my office at work. And I had checked mine, and we had gotten all of ours, all 3 of us, on the same day. But I had forgotten that a kid's passport expires every 2 years. So we had waited too long, and we had to expedite it. But it got let here in less than a week. So that's one thing that we don't have to worry about anymore. Then Mauricio spent $5 when he took my parents to the airport to go on their cruise. They needed a luggage cart for them, and so he got them that. And then we spent $104.66 fixing the handle on the front door. So one day as Mauricio was coming in, the handle just broke off in his hand. It was completely not repairable. So we had to buy a new one and install it. So that's what we did. In the YouTube category, we spent $4.50 on TubeBuddy, $6 on Backblaze, $9 on Morning Fame, $19 on Later, and $102.05 on a backdrop for my videos. Let me tell you, I'm honestly fretting majorly about the feel of my videos. That's one of the reasons I started recording outside, but there's so much external noise outside. I know y'all can hear the air conditioner or the attic fan out there, and the kids playing, and the neighbor blowing leaves. But recording inside, I have other issues. I hate the darkness of my bedroom, and there's really no way to avoid it without buying more lights. The room is just too big to light with my studio lights. So I did buy a backdrop, and I am going to try that. So once that I get that all put together, we'll see how that looks. I did have, a studio for a while, and I liked that, but the problem was it was the guest room, and we had taken the bed and leaned it up against the wall and moved the room around to build that little studio area. And every time my nephews came over to spend the night, I had to re-put the bedroom back together, and it would take a couple hours, and it became this huge ordeal. So that went by the wayside. In the straight up luxuries category, we had a luxurious month. We spent $200 on pocket money, $100 for me and $100 for Mauricio. We spent $35.96 on iTunes, $14.95 on Audible, which I love. And since Audible is sponsoring this video, I'm going to give them a quick shout out. I love them. So if you don't know what they are, Audible is the publisher and distributor of the world's largest selection of digital audiobooks. Currently, I am listening to the book Atomic Habits by James Clear for like the 3rd time, because one of the awesome things about Audible is that once you own the book, it's yours forever, not like the library where you get the book for like 3 weeks and then have to return it. And since I did mention the library app, I use that as well. But Audible's honestly just better because it's cloud-based, so that I can open up my account on my phone in the car, my desk at work, my desk at home, and it starts exactly where I left off each time, which is not necessarily true for the app that my library uses. The best part about Audible is that if I get part of the way through the book and hate it, I can actually return it. It's so worth the $14.95 I pay every month for my gold membership. And if you're interested in trying it out, I'll go ahead and link it down below. Go ahead and sign up and they'll give you the first book for free. And if you don't like it, you can cancel it at any time. And in an effort of full disclosure, I do get a kickback with each person who signs up for the free trial. So it really does help keep this channel up and running. So if you want a free book and to send a little money my way, just click that Audible link down below. And you know, even though this is sponsored, I use the service myself and I love it. You will never ever see anything on this channel that I do not use myself. We also use Amazon Music for $3.99. We had a Hulu account, which we were paying 99 cents a month for, but our account was hacked and immediately canceled by Hulu. And we haven't actually gotten around to fixing that. And in truth, we didn't use it that much, mostly because we don't have enough time to watch TV. So we only turn on the TV when we get in bed, and it takes us about 2 weeks to get through a single episode of anything. And then we took out $140 in cash of family fun money, and about 80 of that went to junk food and Lucky Ducks at Swim Meets, which is like this cute little message that you send your swimmer before they swim for good luck. It's mostly, you know, just a fundraiser for the swim team. And then we spent $434.49 on these torches back here. And then we spent $95.80 on fireworks for the 4th of July. Originally, we were going to go and watch fireworks at one of the big displays nearby, but since I'm again married to a college student, he had a big project due and didn't have time to go somewhere. So Melina said she wanted to do fireworks at home so Daddy could watch too, rather than go somewhere with just her and I. So off we went to the fireworks stand to spend a small fortune on lackluster fireworks. But Melina loved it and Mauricio was able to come down and enjoy it too, so it all worked out in the end. In the beauty category, we spent $651.42, which is a ridiculous amount to spend on beauty. And that was $635 on my hair at the hair salon and $1642 on Mauricio's haircut. And then we pay for the rest of his haircut and tip in cash that we had on hand. So I gotta tell you, I really don't think my hair color was worth $635. I had a bunch of things done and honestly, I didn't feel like there was really much difference from when I started to when I finished. So I think I'm gonna just stick with Mauricio doing my hair. I've gotten my hair professionally done twice now, and I don't think it looks that much better than when Mauricio does it. So why would I spend that money? In the sinking fund category, we spent our usual $1,900. That was $1,000 for the trip to Colombia that we are taking this month, $200 for summer camp, $150 for medical, $100 for car repair replace, $300 for Christmas, $100 for an emergency trip to Colombia, $50 for miscellaneous school expenses, and we did not fund the emergency fund or the work travel fund because both of those are fully funded. And we used sinking funds this month, so we are happy to have them. When we need stuff and we don't want to take money out of our regular budget, we just transfer the money to our checking account and go ahead and get what we need and pay whatever bills we need. I am so looking forward to our trip to Colombia next week because we'll have this whole big pile of money for that and it won't impact our budget at all. And don't be concerned, I actually have videos going up the entire time we're gone, so you will see them. It's all good. In our giving category, we gave $2,001.62. And we don't talk specifics about our giving, but it includes our charitable giving, our giving sinking fund, any random giving throughout the month, and birthday gifts. And in the debt payoff category, we put $2,150 to debt this month. That was $465 to the car loan, $1,500 to the USAA loan, and $185 to our school loan. Now, as you saw in our video on Thursday, we came up with a plan to tackle the car loan and the USAA loan, hopefully by the end of 2020, all while saving for a down payment to purchase this house. We were up in the air on how to tackle it, but once we ran the numbers, the plan became obvious. But as you know, we make our debt payments on the first day of the month, so by the time we had already decided how to handle it, we already had made our debt payments for the month, but we still did awesome. And in saving for the future category, the category that reminds us that we have financial plans for the future, we put $2,095.93 towards the down payment on the house. And again, we saved that amount on the first day of the month, and that was prior to making a plan now that the school loan is in deferment. And we currently have $6,618.84 saved towards the house down payment, which is right on track with our plan. And that leaves us with a $437.20 surplus, plus that additional $20 for Skype that I forgot. So for $57.20 in surplus this month. So here in the Valencia household, we put all the extra money toward next month's budget. Why? Because since I'm actually filming this on the last day of July, because I need a few days to edit, we will be dropping our money for next month into our checking account as soon as I close out this month's budget, which is going to be about 10 minutes after I finish this video. It doesn't really matter because next month's budget is already set. So any extra money I dump in there will just go to the down payment for the house or to debt. And at this point, it's very up in the air, and I can't remember which one we decided on because they both have really big upsides to having them fully funded first. But if I remember correctly, in August, we were under for our saving for the house goal of $3,000 a month because of the website. So the surplus will probably end up going to boost that $3,000. So it's up to $3,000 or as close to $3,000 as we can get it before I even consider doing anything else. Now, if it's already at $3,000, I'd lean towards putting it on debt because I want that debt gone, really. So I'll see you in the next one. See ya. We're out.